Welcome to the CEO's Laundry, the first coaching podcast designed for leading CEOs. You see, CEOs face personal and professional issues just like you and me. But with a high-level position comes high-level questioning and duties. As a result, they can feel alone, misunderstood, confused, or overwhelmed. But these high-level responsibilities can also be a source of inspiration for them to look for ways to simplify their lives and optimize their results for the long run. That's why, instead of focusing on their achievements and success stories, each episode is a discussion focused on their current challenges and what lies ahead. I help them clear their minds. This way, they make room for fresh insight to refocus on themselves, give their daily lives a new boost, and strengthen their impact on the world. Be at the forefront of a podcast that reveals the reality of a human being behind the title of CEO. Hi everyone, and welcome to this new episode of the CEO's Laundry. Very interesting and challenging episode. So today I'm with Joanna. It's someone who is so driven, who has a mission that is so bold, so big. She wants to change the world. She wants to change humanity. Wow, that's powerful. But it's not relevant for my coaching. I coach the person. I doesn't coach the problem. And I faced a situation where I couldn't go deeper with the person, with Joanna. I felt like she didn't allow me, or some resistance in her didn't allow me to go deeper. Before the recording, she asked me to be kind. She told me that she's a sensitive person, and so I made a decision to not force. I made a decision to stop coaching at some point because it was not a territory she was willing to explore. At the end, we agreed to disagree. She allowed me to release this episode. So here it is. Please enjoy it. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of the CEO's Laundry. Today I'm with Joanna, who is currently in London. I'm really happy to have you, Joanna, and to have this. We'll see if it's 1 hour, maybe less, recording and coaching session together. I wanted to let the audience know that Joanna gave me the permission to coach her today, and to go deep if ever it's needed during the conversation. Before the start, you told me you have a couple of projects at the moment, were more or less all related. So what are they?
My projects are related with the new global government. We as a person, we the people, have to use the technology to sit in the table of the problems of the world. This was my main purpose when I started. Of course, I started from the biggest challenge, like, global government, and people, you are crazy. Well, but we had to start to talk about that. It's possible. We have to start somewhere, and why not? We have blockchain. Blockchain is transparency. Every people can track the transactions. So why not using to vote in a global way, because the world is smaller than ever. Now the people are close because of the technology. So I started with my project with global government, and I started to study about I am a nerd. I love to study all the time. I love academic fields. United Nations, for example, and I say, well, when was created? What was the purpose at that moment? World Economic Forum. Well, there are so many institutions, even the old-fashioned, but all of them were created after World War II or World War I.
What is something that is challenging for you at this moment? Maybe you have a couple of challenges, and feel free to talk about different challenges that you have, like just dropping them one after another on the table, or do you have a big challenge that that is hard right now? What would you like to focus on for the next 45 minutes?
My challenge is to be listening, and to spread the word what I am creating to sorry, to get more people in the ship and to do this together, because no one can do this alone. Maybe because of this I am talking. So the challenge is to be listening to, if the people resonate with that and want to work together, we need you. No one can do this alone. We need the private sector, we need the public sector, we need governments like El Salvador can take the risk to start to create a new world after coronavirus crisis. And we have the opportunity, we have the technology, but I don't have money. No one can do this alone. We need to collect together our minds, our hearts, and to create something like that. So this is my challenge.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you. I have two questions. The first one is, who in your life is taking care of you as much as you want to take care of the world?
Well, I am taking care of myself, and I did.
Yes, outside of yourself. Outside of yourself.
You are referring my family?
It can be anyone,
Yes.
but who take care of you as much as you want to take care of the world?
Well, so interesting, this question. Every people has. Well, I have my family, so after these difficult times, I realized that if you don't have an anchor to get this support when you are struggling with so many difficult, it's impossible to do anything. It's impossible. Sometimes I was chatting with different entrepreneurs, and they say, Joanna, what are you doing when you are traveling with this kind of frustration? Because it's intolerable. It's impossible to stand up after that. Yes, of course, I am a courage person, I am strong, but I am a human being. People have your heart broken, and you cannot do this alone. So one friend of mine said me, well, when I was creating my company, he's super nice person, and he created a company in a very young age. And he said me, at that moment when I was traveling on that, I have my pet, my dog, And when I don't want to tell my family this, because my family, they, of course, they are taking care of me, and they support me. But they suffer because they see me suffering, because I want to change the world, and I am struggling with so many different. So they say, Joanna, please don't tell us more, because we are suffering where we are seeing you crying all the time, and you cannot and you cannot achieve your goals. Please stop. We are suffering. So there is a moment very difficult when you say, yes, I have my family, but I don't want to tell them my fights, and my problems, to lead in the war and to create my company, because they are suffering.
I stop you here, Joanna. I understand that. And so if you put yourself and your family at the side, because I understand that your family loves you, but if you cannot be honest with them, they cannot support you as much as it would be beneficial for you. And I'm not judging. I'm just reflecting on what you say.
Yes.
That's not it's not my life. But if you don't tell them the truth, they cannot send you back the truth that you need.
No, I always tell the truth. But the thing is, sometimes there is so much pressure for them to listen me dealing with this, because it's not easy to create a startup. It's not easy to create a company. So sometimes you are alone. You are alone, and you have to come with you. You have to have your tools, because it's not about that I am not telling the truth of my family. It's I am taking care of my family, because if I share with them why I am suffering, they are suffering for me, and it's super difficult to explain.
Okay.
I cannot explain in
I
words, but
I completely it makes sense. It makes sense. So who do you have in your life with who you can share your suffering?
no, it's really hard, because I don't want to bother anyone with my suffering.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah. Can I
But
share
in the
something
moment,
with you?
yes.
Here is an area of growth for you. Here is something that is obvious for me from my eyes, from my experience, as a human being, but from my experience as a coach, working with high level, individual, ambitious, driven people like you, is that at some point in life, if you want a change to happen, it means that you have to change something in your life. You have to let go of some core belief that you think are supporting you, but in reality are destroying you. And what I see from what you tell me is like, I can feel, I can see, I can feel that you're holding on so much inside.
Yes.
It's it's strong. It's strong in you. You're, oh, if you could just let go,
Yeah,
if
but
you could
how?
just release. Yeah. And I feel that, but there are people in your life who have built an expectation of you, like your family. You're not responsible for the expectation that they've built of you. I don't have children, but I 100% believe that when you have children, you want the best for them, and you want them to accomplish and to achieve things. But what is achievement and accomplishment if they're not happy?
Yeah, exactly.
And there is a quote from Tony Robbins. I don't like everything about Tony Robbins, who's a motivator, a public speaker,
Yeah.
but there is something that he said that is so true. It's very simple. It's success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And you have a built-in mechanism. You have a built-in subconscious system that tells you that no, the negativity, the pain, the suffering, the stress, the anxiety, you keep that for yourself. That's how you can move on. Because if you share that with the world, you're going to spread the stress, the anxiety, the pain, the suffering. Yeah. But this is a rule. A rule is a bullshit rule.
I know.
Why? Because this is now how it works. This is what Joanna have subconsciously decided to follow over the years, from childhood to teenagehood to adulthood, to survive, to protect herself from the pain that she experienced when she was a child. And right now it's so deep in you, so anchored in you, that believing the opposite of that doesn't make any sense. How could I benefit, and how could the world benefit of me sharing my pain, my stress, my anxiety, everything that makes me suffer?
Because the pain and the trauma that all of us has is the same. We have to realize that we cannot heal the trauma alone. Even we cannot heal in our family. The trauma is worldwide. And after coronavirus crisis, it's kind of obvious that the trauma is in all the humanity. Yeah, but I did my part. I invest more than 15 years in my trauma. I am healing. I have to tell the truth. I am not healed person. I am healing all the time. I am healing all the time, because it's not easy to be woman. It's not easy to be woman. And also it's not easy to be men, because all of us and every gender, are victim of the old-fashioned system that we have to change together.
There is something really interesting here. I say that for you and for people who are listening, that you spend the first 15 minutes talking about yourself and what drives you, and I can feel that more than 100%. But since I ask question about yourself, you avoid. That's an observation. That's not a judgment. You are not okay with talking about yourself in deeper ways, and that's okay. I'm completely okay with that. But since I ask questions about yourself, about the challenges, it's never about you. It's you bring that back to other topics, and that's completely okay. We cannot go any further than where you're willing to go into the moment. Are you willing to play an exercise together, to play a game together?
Okay.
To ask you to close your eyes. No worries. We're not going to go in the past or to talk about memories or something like that. You're not going to say anything that is too deep. It's not the goal. I'm asking you to close your eyes because I'm going to ask you to use your imagination and visualization. So it will be way better if you have your eyes closed to imagine something.
Okay.
Imagine that your projects are going well, very well. So humanitarian projects are going very well. It's working well. It's imagination, so we can go even further. It's working even better than what you could expect. When I tell you that, what is the when do you think we are? 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now?
Oh, less than that.
When?
Now, month, yeah, a month, days.
Okay. So put yourself in a very near future, then it's going super well.
Yes.
Can you describe to me this well situation? How is it going? What is happening?
Well, the people realize that we have to work together, and I started to receive support of the people, and one people start first to support me, and then other, and we are working together in the same project to build the world together, to heal the world, to create a new global government, to give voice to the people. Every one of them can start using the technology to vote, to put the problems in the table, to create ideas to solve the problem, and to start in work for this. So this, and this is happening now, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. And start with one person, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we will be the 7 billion there.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the cause? What is the purpose of this person? What is the most purpose-driven topic for this first person?
Well, that we realize that depend on us. We don't have to let the governments decide our future. We don't have to let it depends on us. We can start to live our planet, our world together. This is the purpose, to unify the world, beyond countries, beyond nations, as one.
So now that it's happening, and if we go back into the past, a few days, weeks, or months ago, when that was not happening, what have you done differently to make that happen? Because that was not happening back in the past. So what has been the change in your action?
No, it's not about my action. It's not. I'm the same person. I am a conscious person. If I didn't share my stories because it's super sad, and I travel for so much suffering, and it's hard to understand. It's not about I am doing something different. It's about time. The humankind, the entire planet in the past was not prepared for that. But now, yes. So now more and more the civilization, the humanity are prepared. So it's not something that I am doing different, Is the time is now. And we have to act together. And now the people are prepared for that. This is the thing.
Thank you, Joanna. We can stop here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Thank you to you, Kevin. Thank you. I feel super, super comfortable. Thank you.
What is your takeaway? What is something that you have in mind right now?
Yes. we need more people speaking up, raise their voices, and collect people to create the future together. And the way is to speak, to be listened, to allow others to be listened, to give voice to the people who matters, to the new leaders we need in the world, in all the sectors. I am not talking about government or politicians or millionaires. I am talking about common people like, Greta Thunberg. I don't want to say the name because I don't like to forget some important, but there are so many even kids, Greta Thunberg was 17 years, Malala, I don't know, Lady Gaga as a celebrity is another powerful woman. We need Oprah Winfrey. We have more women in the world, not only, of course, men too, but different kind of leadership, different kind of examples of influence people to unify the world. To create a new world together. We need more voices, more and more the common people leading the world. This is how you say, my takeaway.
Okay. Can I share my takeaway?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And you will probably not agree with it. But that's my takeaway. My takeaway is that you want the world to change, but you're not willing to change. This is what I see. This is what I feel from this conversation, and I strongly believe that there is a massive room for growth in that for you, in changing, not changing your purpose, not changing your life mission, not changing your vision. It's not about that, but changing belief, changing things that you do, changing how you feel.
Yes,
This is my
people.
takeaway.
Yes, I want to share something else because maybe at the end of my 20s, one CEO said me, Joanna, you cannot change the world if you not change yourself first. You cannot go outside to change the world if you not change your house, yourself, your family first. So since then, I started to change myself, and I changed myself more than one time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I went deep. I traveled for all my fears. I faced my fears. I did my hard introspective work with so many different tools, and every day I am continue changing myself and the people who is around me and the planet as well. So I am changing all the time, and I am trying to change the planet, of course, with this purpose that I share with you. So sometimes I am tired when the people put the excuse to you cannot change the world if you cannot change. What do you know about me? Do you know my story? Do you ask me what happened in my life? Do you know my? No, you don't know. So you don't know how many life I had in the past in my life. And I am not telling this because I am different. No, it's the story of all of us, the people pursued. Or it's easy to say,
Absolutely.
you cannot change it. You cannot change the world if you cannot change yourself first. But what do you know about myself? You asked me.
Oh, you have changed a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, and you say that at the beginning.
Yeah.
You prove that you change a lot. I mean, you live in a country where you were not born in. You work in private sector. You work in public sector. In public sector related to politics.
Yeah, but
You work in
this is
startup.
not. Yes, of course. Yes, I explain this because you asked me how I start my project. But I am a human being. I am a
Yeah.
person who has problems like everyone, more or less difficult. Um, and of course, the story of us became us who we are at that moment. So it's more than this. This is not the most important. When you want to, maybe
Absolutely.
we can record a second and we can talk about my personal life, not my business, because you asked me about my business, you asked me about my startup, my project, but you didn't ask me about my life. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because this is the way I do my job, and this is I've been doing
Wow.
my job, and I've never said that you cannot change the world if you cannot change yourself. I haven't said that. I don't believe that. This is not my belief. I absolutely It's absolutely true that I don't know much about you. That I don't know your life. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what most people have been through in their lives. That's absolutely true. That's why before we recorded this this session today, I told you that um, it's not about agreeing, disagreeing. It's not about being right or wrong. It's not about something that makes sense or doesn't make sense in coaching, in a normal discussion, in a debate between people, in exchanging ideas. It would be about that. In politics, it's 100 and even more percent about that. But in coaching, it's not about that. It's not about, no one is right or wrong. No one has something that makes more sense than someone else. Um, it's not about agreeing or disagreeing with you. I I don't care about agreeing or disagreeing with you when I coach. That's not the point. If I want you to agree with me, then I have no point in coaching you. If I want to disagree with you, I have no point on being a coach. There is no judgment put on the table. Um, but thank you for sharing what you shared today. Thank you for sharing your mission, your passion, what drives you. Um, Thank you for crying. Thank you for showing that you're a human being, and for showing that um, that it really it's not just something that you do. It's a purpose that drives you, and you perfectly illustrated that today. This is not over yet. Something very funny just happened. So we're something like 15, 20 minutes after the end of the recording. Then I recorded the intro that you watch at the beginning, and I texted Joanna. And then I tell her the following. Let me know when you meet this one person that you talked about with eyes closed, this person who will support you in the near future. So I'm relaying to the person that she talked about when we did this quick imaginary exercise, when she closed her eyes and she said that in a few days or a few weeks or a few months she's going to meet that one person and then another person and etc. So this is what I sent her. And I want to illustrate right now the power of an insight, because she didn't realize what she said when she had her eyes closed. And when I sent her this message, she had what will be a life-changing insight. Literally, you will understand that. So it's a 30 seconds messages, a voice messages that she sent me back. Please listen to it.
Wow, Kevin appeared now in my mind, because yes, I remember that I started to say one person and then 2, 3, 4, 5, more and more and more, and 7 million. But Yes, I never realized that I am thinking on the first one, you know? Wow. Oh, holy shit. You blew my mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because when I was with the eyes closed, well, I will let you know. Let me to discover who is.
That's it. After this 1 hour of conversation and this one message that I sent her, Joanna realized that all she needs is that first one person that will lead to another one and a bunch of other people to change the world. But she did never realize that she needed that first one person. And as you can hear, now she is aware of that. It's that simple. And inside is that simple. Thank you for listening until this last minute, this last second. I share with you all the power of a coaching session, all the power of an insight. It's beautiful, it's life changing. Thank you for listening to this episode.